that just get him a wife, get her a husband. And you see, family involved in searching for a wife for a guy who they feel is not responsible enough. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vivian. If you're new here and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, for always watching my videos. You know, as always on this channel, we dish out interesting topics. We talk about things you can learn from. So today's topic isn't going to be any different. As you may have seen from the title of this video, marriage makes you matured. Is marriage meant to be a training ground, or what do you think? Should one attain to maturity before going into marriage? Whatever it is I'm going to say in this video is going to just be my thought, what I think about this. Marriage is not meant to be a training center where an immature person goes in to be trained by the other party. It's not supposed to be so. Oftentimes people think that just get him a wife, get her a husband. And you see, family involved in searching for a wife for a guy who they feel is not responsible enough, or who they feel is not taking charge of his life enough, and they look for a lady to push the guy to, or a lady who is not coordinated, who they feel is too stubborn. Hence they think once when she gets a spouse and she gets children, she'll become matured, and they want to, you see, family putting it together to want to get a partner for this individual with the intention that marriage is a training ground. She will learn. We understand that, yes, you learn. We don't all have it. We didn't even have it all. I'm sure most of us that are married didn't have it all. No one knows it all before going into marriage. But then at the same time, there are the basic maturity level that an individual should attain to before getting married. Maturity, as we all know, has to do with developmental age, how many calendar years an individual has marked, if the person has marked 10, 20, 30, or even 40 years. But in this context of marriage, maturity goes beyond just the developmental age, goes beyond how old the individual is. It involves other areas, which includes the person has to be spiritually matured, emotionally matured, and financially matured. Marriage is not an impromptu ceremony, you know, one of those events that you're just idle, maybe you're lonely, you want to go somewhere and you remember there's an event somewhere. All you do is to go into your wardrobe, get an outfit, and off you go. Marriage is not like that. Marriage is a lifelong union between two persons, and it takes a lot. So it's very important that an individual going into marriage understand what it takes, understand what is involved, and have that matured mind to be able to handle whatever comes out of it. The truth is, marriage is a venture that actually has the potential of becoming an adventure. A very beautiful and positive experience, I will tell you, at least from experience, but only if you know what you want out of marriage and how to get that thing out of marriage. It has to be two intentional, matured adults. I don't know how that sounds, but two matured people who are intentional about making their marriage work. Not someone who is somewhere where the family feels is not responsible enough, is behaving childish, and they just feel that, okay, let's get him a partner, or let's get her someone to get married to, then she will be matured. No. Because getting into marriage immatured, it's going to be a lot of stress for the two parties involved. Marriage on its own is a lot of stress. It's a whole lot. Like I said, people have to be intentional about making it work for it to even work out in the first place. So it's a whole lot. So you can imagine a matured person getting married to an immature person. It's like the load that it's not even easy for two persons to be, for two persons to balance, is now being shouldered by one person. Of course, it's not going to be easy. You're not going to imagine that that marriage is going to be easy. It may not even be successful. So getting married when an individual is not matured, or with the intention that the person will get matured when he or she gets married, it may lead to dissatisfaction and depression for both partners. This dissatisfaction on the part of the immature partner, in that this is not what I expected. Do not forget that an immature person oftentimes is selfish, is very insensitive to the needs of others. He feels that his needs should come first, and whatever it takes for him or her to satisfy that desire is done, irrespective of if the other person is hot or not, which of course that is not going to work in marriage. So you now see this individual who is not matured getting into that marriage. There's going to be dissatisfaction, like, oh man, this is not what I expected to get out of it. This is not how I expected it to be. It can be really overwhelming, and if care is not taken, such anxiousness and the burden leads to depression. It's very important that before going into marriage, one knows what is expected, because it's a lifelong union. So you know what to expect, and you should have an idea, mental ability to actually cope with whatever is going to come out of it. Do not also want to forget that in marriage, a lot of things are influenced by maturity. If not all of whatever you do in marriage is influenced by maturity. Take, for example, maturity influences trust. There's need for commitment, which is very vital in a very happy and healthy marriage. An immature person, like I said, is insensitive to the needs of the other person. He or she doesn't want to be committed. All he is concerned is about. So how do you think that is going to want to be committed, to want to put the interest of his or her partner ahead of his own interest? So there'll be lack of commitment, which of course, without commitment, the marriage is already shaky. Maturity also influences forgiveness. Do not forget that marriage is a union of two imperfect individuals. So there will be quarrels, there will be fights, there will be disagreement. There are just some personalities in your partner that you're not comfortable with, that will definitely bring disagreements in the marriage. But then of course, a matured person, when two matured persons are involved in the marriage, it becomes easier because they're ready to stick things out, resolve things, talk things over, and if possible, put whatever resentment they have behind them and just push forward, wanting to make the marriage work. So if somebody is not matured, you just see the person unable to unable to forgive his or her partner, unable to let go of resentment, things that shouldn't really hold ground when it comes to happiness in the family, or happiness as far as that marriage is concerned. Another thing is that maturity actually influences effective communication. This is very important. So you just see somebody, you see a lady who is opinionated, who finds it difficult to compromise, or who feels that she's always right. And yeah, the family is thinking, okay, when she gets married, she's going to adjust. Yes, she may adjust, but it's not going to be easy. So it will be easier. She's already mature. She has adjusted to a certain level before she even goes into the marriage, because there are going to be joint decisions, and my partner may not see my view as the one that should stand, while I'm on the other hand as well may not see my partner's view as one that will stand. So there is always need for compromise. So are you going to come to a joint decision, which oftentimes most of the decisions in marriage are joint decisions? How will this individual make that joint decision with the partner when he or she finds it difficult to accept opinions or to accept ideas from other persons? It's going to make it way too difficult for them to actually come to a compromise, for them to have effective communication in the marriage. So it's not a thing of let's get there. When we get there, we'll cross the bridge. You say, no. It's not. So it is best that an individual understands what marriage entails, that this is a union, it's a journey, it's a venture, that I have the rights, I have the power, the decision to make it into an adventure is in my hand, and that I have the needed resources, the needed mental capability and emotional capability to make that into an adventure, to make it into that exciting experience that I really want out of marriage. Well, like I stated earlier, this is just my own opinion about it. So to me, marriage is not meant to be a training ground. In fact, marriage is meant to be that opportunity that one has to exhibit a level of maturity that has been attained before getting married. So you're not meant to give your child to someone else's that has been trained to maturity, to attain maturity, to now come and put that burden. We've heard and I know of an experience where the guy in question is seen to be irresponsible by the parents, and they felt, okay, let's get him a wife and we are sure this is going to make him behave better and to be more matured. But unfortunately, it didn't end up so. In fact, it's as I'm speaking to you right now, the couple, they are no longer together. They are already divorced. So we do not want to push people into marriage with the notion that they will get matured, they will behave better. Instead, let them start behaving better, behaving maturely even before they go into marriage. So, well, this is just my own thoughts about this. Marriage doesn't necessarily make you matured. You have to even attain some level of maturity before getting married. Maturity comes first before marriage. Let me know your thoughts about this topic. Do you actually think that marriage makes one matured, or one should attain to maturity first before getting married? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do not forget to like this video, and please subscribe if at this point you haven't. Till I see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.